The Great War Council chamber was filled with fear. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in a massive round hall, their eyes fixed on the giant hologram floating in the air. The hologram showed a battlefield where smoke, fire, and broken machines covered the ground. Strange alien weapons lay scattered like toys. And in the middle of that chaos, a small group of humans stood together, breathing hard but still ready to fight. No one in the hall spoke. They were too shocked. Finally, a tall insect-like general broke the silence. His voice shook as he pointed at the hologram. This is the problem. We attacked them with 5,000 soldiers. Only 7 humans were there. And still we lost. Murmurs filled the hall. Some aliens gasped. Others shivered. One small creature covered its face with its hands, refusing to watch any more. A reptile commander asked, "But how can 7 humans defeat an army? They do not have armor like us. They do not have claws or natural weapons. They look weak." The insect general answered in a trembling voice, "That is what we thought. But we were wrong. So wrong." The hologram zoomed closer. The humans were dirty, wounded, and tired. But their eyes burned with something terrifying: determination. One human soldier limped forward, still ready to fight even though his arm was bleeding. Another dragged a wounded friend to safety while shooting at enemy drones. Not one of them ran. Not one gave up. A new voice came from the shadows. An old alien doctor stepped forward. Everyone fell silent. She was known for her intelligence and calmness. But today, even she looked afraid. "We studied them," she said slowly. "We wanted to understand how they fight. We thought they were simple. We thought they were weak mammals. But humans are something else." The doctor raised a small device, and a second hologram appeared. It showed images of Earth, storms, deserts, mountains, forests, dangerous animals with big teeth, freezing winters, burning summers. "Humans come from a deadly world," she said. "A world that forced them to become strong. A world that taught them to survive everything." Another image appeared, showing humans running long distances, climbing cliffs, building shelters, caring for each other when sick or hurt. Humans can run for many hours without stopping. Their bodies heal fast. They can survive hunger, pain, and fear better than most species. Another alien whispered, "But many species can do that." The doctor looked at him sadly, not while smiling. The hall fell silent again. Then the insect general spoke once more. "But this is not even the worst part. We captured one human soldier last month. We thought we could study him, learn how he thinks, maybe find a weakness." He tapped a button, and a security recording appeared. A single human sat in a metal cell. He looked calm, almost relaxed. 3 alien guards watched him from outside the force field. "We thought he was harmless," the general said. "He had no weapons, no armor, nothing." But then something shocking happened. The human stood up slowly. He cracked his neck and smiled, a small, scary smile. Then he whispered something the audio system barely picked up. "Time to go home." The human touched the wall. It should have been impossible for him to break it. The metal was strong enough to hold giant beasts. But the human didn't break the metal. He used something else: strategy. He waited until the guards changed shift. He waited until the security lights flickered. Then he used a small metal piece he had stolen from his food tray and triggered the force field generator. It shut down in one flash. The human moved like a storm. No hesitation. No fear. He knocked out the guards, took their weapons, and moved through the station like he had lived there for years. Cameras showed him crawling through vents, hiding behind machines, setting traps. By the time the aliens realized he had escaped, he had already blown up the station's power core. One human. Alone. The hologram showed the space station exploding in the darkness, breaking apart like glass. Debris scattered everywhere. Gasps filled the council hall. Some aliens stood up in panic. Others whispered prayers. "He destroyed an entire outpost," the general said weakly. "And when our scouts found him again, he was helping other prisoners escape. Aliens he had never met." The doctor added softly, "That is the part that scares me. Humans are kind. But when someone hurts their friends, they become monsters. A cold silence fell across the room. Then the insect general looked at the leaders and spoke the truth they were all afraid to say out loud. If one human can do this, what can billions do? The room suddenly felt too small, too quiet. Every alien felt the same chilling thought. Maybe attacking humans was not a victory. Maybe it was the biggest mistake in the galaxy's history. The War Council room was still heavy with fear when the old alien doctor switched to the next hologram. A bright blue map of Earth floated in the air. Mountains rose like stone giants. Deep oceans glowed dark blue. Storm clouds spun like angry monsters. Now, the doctor said quietly, you must understand why humans became like this. The aliens leaned forward, afraid but curious. None of them had ever seen Earth so closely before. It looked beautiful but also dangerous. This world shaped them, she continued. Earth is not a soft world. It is not gentle like our planets. It is wild, violent, unpredictable. The hologram zoomed into a huge forest. Wind shook the trees. Lightning flashed. Rain crashed down. In the middle of the forest, a group of early humans was running from a giant beast with long teeth and sharp claws. The council members flinched. A bird-like admiral asked, "Why do the humans not fly away? Or hide underground?" The doctor answered, "Because they evolved with nothing. No wings, no armor, no claws. All they had was their mind." The hologram showed early humans creating fire, building shelters, using sticks and stones as tools. Slowly, those weak-looking creatures learned to hunt, survive, and even fight monsters bigger than themselves. Humans were born with fear, the doctor said, but they learned to move through fear. That is their true strength. A lizard commander folded his arms. "But what does this have to do with the soldiers we fought recently?" The doctor nodded. "Everything." She tapped a button. The hologram shifted to show human biology, muscles, bones, heart, brain. You see, humans are strange. Their bodies break easily. Their bones snap. Their skin tears. Their hearts race. Many aliens nodded. They knew humans seemed fragile. But they also heal incredibly fast, the doctor went on. And the real danger is this. She pointed at the human brain. No other species pushes itself harder than humans. When their body says stop, their mind says try again. When their muscles say give up, their heart says keep going. She showed footage of athletes running long distances, soldiers training in harsh weather, firefighters carrying people through flames, doctors staying awake for days to save lives. The council looked confused. A metal-skinned alien spoke up. Why do they suffer so much? Why push themselves? It makes no sense. The doctor sighed softly. Because they want to live. And because they want the people they love to live too. A silence drifted across the room. Then a new hologram appeared. This one showing human history. Wars, disasters, invasions, diseases, and endless challenges. Humans suffered, but every time, they stood up again. These creatures have been fighting their whole existence, the doctor said. But every time they fall, they rise stronger. The bird admiral whispered. So they are born warriors? No, the doctor corrected. They become warriors when they must. Their true weapon is their will. The insect general stepped forward again. But humans do not only fight. They build. They explore. They create machines and ships faster than most species. The doctor nodded. That is because humans want to understand everything around them. They're curious. Too curious. She showed a new hologram. Humans landing on the moon, exploring Mars, diving into deep oceans, climbing the highest mountains. They go to dangerous places for no reason, she said. Just to see what is there. That is how they learn so fast. A small alien with glowing eyes whispered, but curiosity alone cannot win battles. No, the doctor agreed. But determination can. The next hologram showed a human climbing a snowy mountain alone. The storm was strong. The human slipped, got injured, almost died. But he kept climbing. Beside that, another image showed a human mother shielding her child during a disaster. Another showed a firefighter running into a burning building. Humans protect, the doctor said softly, even when it seems impossible. The hall grew quiet again. Some aliens looked uncomfortable. Some looked impressed. Others looked scared. The insect general pointed his claws toward the hologram. This is why we lose? Because humans do not stop. Yes, the doctor answered. But there is more. Something bigger. The hologram shifted once more, showing human soldiers working together, carrying each other, sharing supplies, covering one another during battle. Humans work as a team. Their strength multiplies when they stand together. A reptile admiral whispered, "If they unite, they become unstoppable." The doctor looked around the room, her voice heavy with truth. That is why we must be careful. Humans are not the strongest. They are not the fastest. They are not the smartest. But they are the most determined. And that makes them the most dangerous. The insect general stepped forward and spoke in a deep, troubled voice. We have awakened something we cannot control. A cold wave of silence washed over the council. The doctor added one final line, and it hit every alien like a blast. Humans are not terrifying because they enjoy war. They are terrifying because they survive it. No one dared to speak. Every leader in that room now understood the truth. Humanity was not just another species. Humanity was a storm. The galaxy did not have to wait long before learning the truth about humans. Only 3 weeks after the council meeting, an alien exploration fleet drifted through the quiet darkness of space. Their mission was simple: find a small human ship that had gone missing near the outer rim. Capture the humans if possible. Learn their strategies. Bring back information. They expected a weak vessel. They expected fear. They expected surrender. They did not expect what they found. Captain Relcor of the veteran Navy stood on his bridge as his sensors detected a human ship drifting silently near an asteroid belt. The ship looked damaged. Lights were dim. Engines were cold. No movement inside. A perfect target. Humans are careless, Relcor said proudly. They leave their wounded ships floating. Easy prey. His officers nodded. They activated tractor beams and pulled the small human vessel toward their docking bay. But one officer hesitated. His long ears twitched nervously. "Captain, why is there not a single distress signal? Humans always call for help." "Because they are defeated," Relcor said with a grin. "This will be simple." The moment the human ship connected to the docking bay, everything went wrong. The lights in the docking bay flickered. A cold wind blew through the corridor, even though wind was impossible in space. A strange metallic echo repeated again and again, like footsteps. Captain Relcor frowned. "Who is walking?" "The humans should be unconscious." "No life signs detected, sir," the scanning officer reported. "The ship looks empty." Yet the footsteps grew louder. Boom, boom, boom. The officers exchanged worried glances. "What is that?" someone whispered. Relcor tightened his jaw. "Open the hatch." With a hiss, the hatch opened. At first, nothing. Only darkness. Pure black. Like the ship was a cave that swallowed light. Then something moved. A human helmet slowly rolled out of the darkness and hit the metal floor with a loud clang. The sound echoed through the docking bay, sending shivers through every alien. Relcor narrowed his eyes. "Show yourself." For a long moment, there was silence. Then a voice, calm, tired, but strong, spoke from inside the dark ship. "No." The aliens froze. "Identify yourself," Relcor ordered. The voice stepped closer. Soft footsteps. Slow breathing. Heavy but controlled. A human soldier stepped into the light. His uniform was torn. One sleeve was missing. Blood dried on his forehead. Yet his eyes were sharp, alert, alive. He did not raise a weapon. He simply stood there, watching them. Relcor laughed. "One human? This is what we feared. You are injured, surrounded, outnumbered. You cannot win." The human did not smile, but his eyes hardened. "I know." "Then surrender," Relkor said proudly. There is no escape. The human finally looked at him directly. His voice was quiet, almost gentle. I'm not trying to escape. The aliens looked confused. The human tapped a device on his wrist. A small red light blinked. Relkor frowned. What is that? The human stepped forward slowly, still calm. A warning. A warning for what? Relkor demanded. For what you're about to face. Before the aliens could respond, the doors behind them suddenly slammed shut. The lights went dark. Emergency alarms flashed red. The human spoke again, this time with a voice filled with cold certainty. You thought my ship was broken. But it wasn't drifting. It was waiting. The veteran officers panicked. What is happening? Captain. Automatic lockdown. Unknown signal inside our systems. Relkor stared at the human with sudden fear. What did you do? The human answered with one simple sentence. I let my ship think for itself. The damaged human craft suddenly came alive. Engines roared. Weapons unfolded like mechanical wings. The ship was not broken, only disguised. And now it was angry. Relkor's communications screen lit up. His other ships were sending emergency messages. Captain, the human ship is attacking us. It's too fast. We cannot track it. It just disabled 3 cruisers. Without firing a shot, chaos exploded inside the fleet. The human in the docking bay moved like a ghost. He grabbed a fallen alien stun baton, leapt into the air, and knocked down 2 guards before they even realized he had moved. He fought without hesitation, without fear. Relkor watched helplessly as the human closed in on him. You are one soldier, Relkor whispered. How can one of you cause so much destruction? The human stopped right in front of him. He leaned down slightly, his eyes cold, his voice lower now. I am not special. Relkor blinked. What? The human's answer hit, like a blade. There are millions like me. Silence. Cold, sharp silence. Relkor finally understood the nightmare the council had spoken of. Humans were not monsters because they wanted to fight. Humans were monsters because they refused to lose. The human soldier activated his wrist beacon again. A blue light filled the bay, and suddenly a second human ship uncloaked outside, a rescue team. They had come quietly. They had come for their brother. Because humans never leave each other behind. Relkor fell to his knees as the truth became clear. The galaxy had not seen war yet. It had only seen the beginning of humanity waking up. The human rescue ship drifted away from the ruined veteran fleet, leaving only broken metal and stunned silence behind. The aliens who survived sent desperate messages across the galaxy, warning every species. Do not fight humans. Do not approach them. Do not anger them. But many worlds did not believe the warning. They thought the veterans were weak. They thought humans were exaggerated. They thought the rumors were stories, not truth. So the galaxy formed a massive blockade around the human colony of Aurora 6, a quiet, peaceful settlement of scientists, farmers, and families. No large armies. No advanced weapons. Easy target. At least, that is what the aliens believed. The blockade stretched across space like a giant metal wall, over 2,000 warships, equipped with heavy lasers, shields, and thousands of drones. Inside Aurora 6, the humans were calm. Commander Lyra Hayes stood in the colony control tower, watching hundreds of red enemy markers form a circle around their world. She did not scream. She did not panic. She simply breathed slowly and tapped her fingers on the console. Beside her, a young alien engineer named Kira trembled. His species had lived with humans for many years, and he trusted them deeply.
But this was terrifying.
They have too many ships, Kira whispered. They will crush us. They will wipe out everyone. Lyra smiled softly. Maybe if we stand still. Maybe if we act scared. But we won't. She pressed a button. All across the colony, small blue lights flickered to life under the soil, on rooftops, in forests, and even inside caves. Aurora 6 was not a peaceful colony. It was a fortress hidden in plain sight. Kira stared in shock. What is this? A surprise, Lyra said. Humans like surprises. Above them, the alien blockade commander, High Marshal Torvek, sent a message to the colony. Humans of Aurora, 6, surrender peacefully. Step outside your homes with your hands raised. If you resist, we will destroy you. Lyra answered with one calm sentence.
No.
Torvek's voice thundered. Then you choose death. But before he could fire a single shot, the humans made their first move. A single asteroid drifted near the alien ships.
Small.
Harmless looking. Nothing unusual. The aliens ignored it. Then a strange humming sound came from the asteroid. It changed direction, something an asteroid should never do, and slammed straight into one of the alien cruisers.
Boom.
The cruiser exploded in a burst of fire and spinning metal. Torvek jumped to his feet. What was that? The sensor officer screamed. It was not an asteroid, sir. It was a disguised human drone. More asteroids drifted out of the belt, slow, innocent, harmless, until they changed direction. 10, 20, 50 of them moved like sharks in bloody water. That is impossible, Torvek shouted. Asteroids do not move like fighters. These are humans, sir, the officer cried. They make everything into a weapon. The disguised drones slammed into warships, jamming engines, frying shields, destroying signal towers. In seconds, the perfect blockade became a chaotic mess. But humans were just getting started. Commander Lyra pressed a second button. Now the ground of Aurora, 6 came alive. Hidden launch ports opened. Stealth missiles flew into the sky, silent like ghosts. The alien fleet sensors could not track them. One ship after another exploded in bright storms of light. Torvek's hands shook. How are they doing this? Their colony is small. They should not have so many weapons. Kiru watched from the human control tower, amazed and terrified. How did you hide all this? The scanners never saw anything. Lyra smirked. Humans are good at hiding things, especially things that keep their families safe. Up in orbit, chaos turned into panic. Some alien ships fired randomly into space. Others collided while trying to escape. Others screamed for reinforcements. Torvek shouted orders, but no one listened. His crew was too terrified. Suddenly, all screens on his flagship flickered to black. A human symbol appeared, a red handprint. Then a calm human voice echoed through every ship in the blockade. You should not have come here. Torvek froze. How did they hack our systems? The voice continued. We warned your council. We asked for peace. But you attacked families. You threatened children. And humans. The voice paused. Do not forgive threats to their children. Every alien in the fleet felt their blood turn to ice. One sensor officer whispered, What kind of species are they? Torvek swallowed hard. They are demons. The human voice spoke one final sentence. Leave now. The fleet did not need to be told twice. Warships scattered in all directions. The blockade fell apart in minutes. No formation. No courage. No plan. Only fear. Back on Aurora, 6, Kiru collapsed to his knees. How did we win? They had everything. Numbers.
Power.
Technology. Lyra looked at him gently. Numbers don't matter. Power doesn't matter. Fear doesn't matter. She placed a hand on his shoulder. Humans win because when someone tries to take our home, we become something stronger than fear. What? Kiru whispered. Lyra looked out at the stars, watching the last alien ships flee. Protectors. And the galaxy learned a terrifying truth that day. Humans did not only fight with weapons. They fought with their hearts. And that made them unstoppable. After the failed blockade, fear spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Every species began whispering the same question. If this was only a human colony, what happens when their soldiers arrive? Governments panicked. Armies prepared defenses. Some worlds even evacuated their outer cities. But the humans were quiet.
Too quiet.
That silence scared everyone even more. While the galaxy argued and feared, one alien leader made a dangerous decision. Chancellor Vora of the Akron Empire gathered her elite scouts and pointed toward an old mining sector near the edge of human space. "We will capture a live human team," she said. "We will study them. We will control them. We will learn how to stop them before they destroy us all." Her officers hesitated. "Chancellor, humans do not react gently when someone touches their people." Vora's eyes narrowed. "Then we will not capture soldiers. We will target explorers."
Scientists.
Weak ones. Her plan was simple. Find a human research outpost.
Kidnap them.
Break them.
Study them.
She believed humans were strong only in war. She was wrong. Deep in the asteroid field of Sector 19, 3 human scientists worked in a small metal outpost. Their mission was peaceful: study asteroid minerals and space radiation. Nothing more. Dr. Maya Trent, a cheerful woman with dark hair tied in a messy bun, hummed while checking samples. Dr. Leon Marsh drank cold coffee, clearly annoyed at the taste. And Dr. Rafi Solis adjusted sensors, mumbling to himself about humans not being built for night shifts. The outpost was quiet, calm, almost boring, until the alarm screamed. Maya looked up. What was that? Leon checked the screen.
Ships.
Multiple ships. Not human. Rafi's eyes widened. Akron Empire, and they're moving fast. Before they could activate the distress beacon, the outpost shook violently. Explosions echoed through the walls. The lights flickered. Leon swore under his breath. "They're boarding us." Maya grabbed a medical kit. "We need to hide." But there was nowhere to hide. The outpost was too small. The door burst open, and armored Akron soldiers rushed inside with weapons raised. Leon stepped forward, raising his hands. "Listen, we're scientists." "We're not." He didn't finish. The soldiers hit him with a shock baton. Maya screamed. Rafi tried to run but was thrown to the floor. Within minutes, all 3 were captured and taken aboard the Akron flagship. Chancellor Vora stood over them, smiling like a predator. "Good. These humans will tell us everything." But there was one problem. Humans are never alone. 3 hours after the scientists vanished, their distress beacon activated by itself. Human command received the signal and went silent for a moment. Then they reacted. Not with fear. Not with hesitation. But with fury. General Thorne, commander of the Human Special Operations Fleet, stared at the blinking signal on his screen. His jaw tightened. 3 civilians have been taken, he said. His officers looked nervous. Even humans feared Thorne when he became quiet. "What are your orders, sir?" a young soldier asked. Thorne answered with a cold voice that carried across the bridge. "We bring them home." The Special Ops Fleet launched instantly. 6 black stealth cruisers, invisible to scanners, fast as lightning, armed with weapons no alien had ever seen. They didn't travel like a normal fleet. They moved like shadows. Inside the Akron prison hold, Maya was awake, tied to a chair. She looked tired, frightened but angry too. Vora entered the room with a recorder. "You will tell us your secrets. How humans fight. How humans win." Maya stared at her without fear. "You shouldn't have taken us." Vora laughed. "You are scientists. Weak ones. Who will come for you? Soldiers? A fleet? Your protectors?" Maya didn't blink. "All of them." A guard rushed in suddenly. "Chancellor, something is happening outside." "What now?" she snapped. "We detected nothing on radar, but ships are appearing. Just appearing. Out of shadows." The bridge filled with panic. Black human cruisers uncloaked one by one, surrounding the Akron flagship like wolves circling prey. Vora's eyes went wide. That is impossible. We did not detect them." The human cruisers activated their weapons. Every Akron officer trembled. Then a message appeared on every screen. "You took our people. We are coming inside." At that exact moment, the lights cut out. The engines died. The doors slammed shut. The humans had taken control of the entire flagship without firing a shot. Vora screamed, "How did they hack our systems?" Her officer whispered, "Humans, they fight like machines." But he was wrong. Humans fought with something far scarier. A metal wall exploded inward, and human operatives stormed the prison deck. They moved like lightning, silent, focused, unstoppable. General Thorne led them himself. He walked through smoke and sparks, eyes blazing with fury. Maya gasped when she saw him. "Sir, you came." Thorne answered with the most important sentence in human culture. "We never leave our own behind." The operatives freed the scientists in seconds. Any Akron soldier who tried to resist was knocked unconscious instantly. No killing. Humans were angry, but they were not monsters. When Vora finally faced Thorne, she trembled for the first time in her life. "You risked a whole fleet for 3 civilians," she whispered. Thorne stepped closer. His voice was cold, soft, deadly. "For 1 civilian, I'd bring 10 fleets." Vora collapsed to her knees. She finally understood the truth. Humans were terrifying not because of war, but because of loyalty, because of how far they would go, because of who they became when someone hurt their people. And the galaxy had not seen loyalty like that before. The leaders of the Galactic Council were in shock. They had seen the broken dreadnoughts. They had seen the giant shard of the enemy ship that humans dragged in like a trophy. They had heard the calm voice of Commander Hale, a human who spoke as if war was only another daily task. But now something bigger was coming. The humans had sent a message to the Council. "Prepare your observation ships. The real test begins now." Many alien species grew nervous. Some were shaking with fear. Some were whispering that maybe humans were not warriors, maybe they were monsters wearing friendly faces. Several Council ships rushed to the human combat zone. When they arrived, they found something terrifying. A ring of black metal floated around a dead moon. The ring looked like a giant collar, broken in places, glowing with strange blue fire. The human fleet was inside that ring, waiting silently. One of the alien observers, a scientist named Verai, whispered, "What is that?" "A weapon." "No," the human officer replied. "That was an old enemy device. Very old, very dangerous. It was sleeping for thousands of years." Verai swallowed. "And you woke it?" The officer nodded calmly. "We need to know its limits." The aliens stared in horror. Humans were not preparing for simple war. They were preparing for something much bigger, something only humans would dare to challenge. Suddenly, the metal ring cracked open. A deep, rumbling sound traveled through space like a beast waking up. Lights burst from the cracks, forming long arms of energy. The old enemy machine began to activate. The aliens panicked inside their ships. Some tried to flee, but human ships blocked the path. Commander Hale's voice echoed again, completely relaxed. "Do not run. If this thing wakes fully, you cannot escape anyway.
Watch.
Learn. This is why humans survive." The aliens could barely breathe. The machine screamed, a long, metallic roar that made even hardened soldiers flinch. Energy beams shot out, slicing pieces of the dead moon like soft fruit. Then the machine turned toward the human fleet. Verai covered her mouth. "They will all die." But the humans did not move. They formed a tight formation, silent and still, as if they had done this many times before. The alien view screens showed something unbelievable. The humans began to charge forward, straight at the ancient weapon. Alien commanders yelled at the humans' insane bravery. Some thought the humans had gone mad. Some thought they were attempting suicide. But humans had a plan. Their ships moved faster, pushing their engines until they glowed white. Then tiny dots launched from the lead human ship. They were not bombs, they were soldiers. Hundreds of human soldiers, in armored suits, flying through space toward the giant machine like tiny sparks of light. Aliens screamed, "This is impossible. No living being can fight a machine that large." But humans were not normal. They were born under gravity 10 times stronger than many alien worlds. They grew up in violent environments with storms, earthquakes, predators. Their bodies were tough. Their minds were tougher. The soldiers hit the machine's armor. Their boots locked onto the metal. They started climbing upward, cutting through steel with glowing blades. Some soldiers were thrown away by energy blasts, but they came back again, refusing to stop. Commander Hale spoke without fear. Aim for the core. Break its heart. Alien officers watching the scene felt something strange, fear mixed with awe. These humans, they were not fighting to protect themselves. They were fighting because they refused to let fear control them. For the first time, Veri understood something deep and dangerous. Humans were terrifying not because of their weapons, but because of their will. The machine roared again and released a massive energy pulse. It should have killed everyone, but humans had already predicted it. Their soldiers braced. Their ships shielded each other. Their formation did not break. Then a bright explosion flashed. The human soldiers had reached the core. And with one final blast, the ancient machine broke apart into burning metal. Silence filled space. The aliens stared with wide eyes. No one spoke. No one could. Commander Hale's calm voice returned. That was only a test. Now you know why humans are sent to the front lines. Now you know why enemies fear us. And with that, the humans turned their ships around, ready for whatever came next. Because for them, this was not the final battle. This was only the beginning. The Galactic Council gathered in a huge circular chamber. Every species was present: tall crystal beings, floating gas creatures, armored insect warriors, soft-skinned diplomats, and those who had always feared humans but never understood why. Now they had seen the humans destroy an ancient machine that should have ended them all. They had watched human soldiers climb metal like it was a simple ladder. And they had heard Commander Hale's calm voice even in the face of death. But something still did not make sense. Why were humans this strong? Why were humans this fearless? What made their mind so dangerous? The council leader, an old alien with glowing blue eyes, finally spoke. Bring in the human commander. We need answers. The doors opened. Commander Hale entered, walking slowly, hands behind his back, face calm as always. His boots echoed in the silent hall. Every alien waited, nervous, unsure if they were about to hear something they were ready for. Hale stood in the center. The leader asked, Commander, what truly are humans? Hale looked around. He could feel their fear. He could also feel their hope. He finally spoke. Humans are not born strong. We are made strong. Our home world, Earth, is cruel. It shapes us. The aliens leaned closer, listening carefully. Hale continued. On Earth, everything tries to kill you. The ground moves. The oceans rise. The storms tear cities apart. Animals hunt you. Diseases chase you. You fight every day from the moment you are born. We are trained by nature itself. An insect warrior gasped softly. A crystal being trembled. Hale walked slowly in a circle, making eye contact with each species. Your worlds kept you safe. Our world tried to destroy us. So we learned something powerful.
He paused.
We learned to never give up. Even when we are weak. Even when we bleed. Even when death stands in front of us, we walk forward. The chamber grew cold. Humans were terrifying not because of their weapons, but because they refused to stop. Hale raised a small device. A hologram appeared, showing something massive, something darker and larger than anything the council had ever seen. This, Hale said, is the real enemy. The old enemy was only its child. The machine you saw was only a scout. The aliens froze in panic. The hologram showed a shadow stretching across a star, an enormous shape with burning red eyes and endless tendrils, like a planet-sized predator waking from sleep. The council leader whispered, That cannot be real. Hale replied, It is coming. And only humanity has fought it before. Silence.
Shock. Fear.
Then Hale said something that changed everything. We do not want to rule the galaxy. We do not want to conquer anyone. We want allies. Because the thing that is coming will not stop at one world. It will eat everything. An alien officer asked softly, But how do you know? How have you fought it before? Hale's eyes darkened. Because long ago, it came to Earth. Every alien gasped. Hale continued. Our ancestors faced it. They fought with sticks, stones, and fire. They should have died. But they didn't. They learned its patterns. They learned how to kill its smaller forms. And they drove it back. He looked up at the hologram, at the massive shadow. But it was not destroyed. Only sleeping. Now it has awakened again. The chamber trembled with fear. Some species whispered prayers. Others clutched their weapons. Hale stepped forward. The galaxy needs warriors who do not break. That is why humans exist. That is why you fear us. And that is why you need us. He pressed a button. The hologram changed, showing a united fleet. Human ships mixed with alien ships.
Different species flying together.
A single army. This is the future, Hale said. If we stand together, we win. If we stand apart, we die. For the first time, the Council saw something new in humanity. Not danger. Not violence. But hope. The Council leader rose. Commander Hale, humanity will lead our defense. Hale nodded. Prepare your fleets. The real war begins soon. And as he walked out of the chamber, every alien understood the truth. Humans were not terrifying because they loved war. Humans were terrifying because even at the edge of extinction, they refused to fall.